Hello everyone. I'm really excited to be able to talk about some of the new features in the latest version of WorldKit today. Probably the most notable improvement is that WorldKit now supports flow graphs up to 67 million nodes. So this is up from about 4 million nodes in the master branch and approximately 17 million nodes in the experimental branch. And the best part of all this is that all of this extra precision is free. It actually runs faster and uses less memory than it used to at the lower quality settings. This means that it's now possible to run a 67 million node Terraform operation in less than 12 gigs of memory. And depending on the terrain and the project setup, this will run somewhere between 1.5 minutes and 4 minutes, just depending on the area and the complexity. So here I'm going to toggle between the previous maximum resolution and the new maximum resolution, and you can see there's a big improvement in quality. As you may have already noticed, WorldKit also received some visual enhancements to the viewport that, in my opinion, make it more fun to use and certainly nicer to look at. Some of these enhancements include swappable image-based lighting for the skybox now, customizable height-based gradients or dem gradients, some people call them, better water. So water now has a shallow color and a deep color and can fade between them depending on depth. It also has improved ambient occlusion quality. And you can now adjust the intensity of the ambient occlusion in the viewport, and also just a bunch of general fixes to the shading pipeline that get rid of some visual artifacts that used to exist. And here I'm showing some examples of some of the new height gradients. And these are ones that I just tossed together quickly in Photoshop. They're really easy to make. It's just a 1 pixel high texture, 1024 pixels wide, that has a nice color gradient in it. And here I'm going to show dropping a new skybox into the scene and watching the lighting change. And the tool for authoring additional skyboxes is actually included in the tools module now. I might do a tutorial for that in another video, but it's really easy to make new skyboxes from HDRI images that you can download online. So here I'm just matching the lighting in the scene to the image-based lighting so that things look better and the directional light plays nicely with the fog and all blends. So this stuff doesn't really add any new technical features to WorldKit, but for me anyways, it just makes it a lot more fun to work with and nicer to be able to see what your terrain is going to look like, get kind of a preview before you get it into the engine. So moving on to some more technical features. Here you can see the dependencies for WorldKit have been refactored so that the core no longer relies on OpenGL. And that is going to be exciting for some people because it means that you don't need a GPU to run it. So all of those AMD GPUs that it never used to run on doesn't matter anymore. You can now run it from the command line. So this might be disappointing to a few people who don't have any interest in scripting, but I think it'll be exciting for technical artists and or artistic programmers. And that is, I've decided to change WorldKit from a desktop application with a lot of heavy UI requirements basically to a scripting toolkit that allows you to write scripts, load them on the fly into the viewer, and then immediately see your changes to those scripts. And the reason I did this is basically I was spending a ton of time writing UI and trying to rebuild it every time features changed, and it was burning up a lot of time that I wanted to spend on actually implementing new features and new terrain algorithms. Kotlin script ended up being a great tool for this. It's got great support in IntelliJ IDEA, which I was already using. It's got syntax highlighting and code completion and all that good stuff. And you can load it into a running virtual machine without doing a compile. So it was a really good fit, and this basically allows me to iterate on WorldKit projects a lot more quickly and just try out a lot of new things without so much downtime for compiling. So this is the command line interface for WorldKit. And here you can see I load up a project, list all of the executable scripts and outputs in the project. Anything that you can run from the viewer, you can also run from the command line. The tasks have cancellation support, and the new project structure in WorldKit basically writes everything out to an IO directory. So you'll see just a lot of plain old texture files being written out there, which makes it really easy to work with other programs. I prefer using Photoshop for looking at the outputs and working with them. And that pretty much wraps up the new features for WorldKit. So yeah, if you're interested, check it out. It's on GitHub. I'll post the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.